AP3, lavish. AP3, lavish. AP3, lavish. Let's go. AP3, lavish fitness.
You are who you choose to be.
Welcome back to the AP3 Lavish Fitness Podcast, where we mix science, luxury, and a sprinkle of humor to help you live your healthiest life. I'm Ian, your host and personal trainer with the passion for making fitness both effective and fabulous. If you're over 50 or planning to be, this episode is for you. Forget the old age and slow decline narrative. It's all about strength, science, and swagger. That comes with maintaining your body as you age. Today, we're tackling the truth about why the body starts to break down after 50, okay? So, and more importantly, how to fight back. We're going to dive into the science behind aging and strength loss, but we're also going to give you the tools to rebuild your body and your confidence, all right? By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly why you feel like you're slowing down and how you can turn things around with the smart training, recovery, and a killer mindset. So let's talk about this. What happens to the body after the age 50? So let's dive into why our bodies change as we age, okay? Understanding the science that gives you the power to take control, all right? So let's start with muscle loss, aka sarcopenia. One of the biggest problems after 50 is muscle loss, which is called sarcopenia. Here's the thing, right? So muscle mass naturally declines by about 1 to 2% each year, starting around the age of 30. But after 50, that rate doubles, okay? So by the time you're 60, you might have lost a significant chunk of lean tissue, okay? So why does it matter? Well, less muscle means slower metabolism, more fat storage, lower strength, decreased mobility. But hold on, here's the good news. Strength training reverses this process, okay? It's the single most effective way to rebuild muscle and keep your metabolism firing. And the best part, you're never too old to start, okay? Better late than never. So, how to fight back? Number 1, strength training, okay? Lifting weights or doing resistance exercises builds muscle mass. It's not spaceship science, okay? It boosts your metabolism and improves your strength. So you got strength training and there's protein, right? Eating enough high quality protein, I say 1.2 to 1.5 kilograms of your body weight. It helps fuel muscle repair and growth, okay? Muscle isn't just for bodybuilders. It's your secret weapon for aging like a champion, okay? Let's talk about the bone density loss, aka osteoporosis, or you can call it osteopenia, okay? As we age, especially for women after menopause, bone density naturally decreases. This makes bones weaker and more susceptible for fractures. Osteopenia, the stage before osteoporosis, is common, okay? But here's the kicker. Strength training builds bones, okay? When you lift weights, the stress placed on bones prompts them to rebuild and becomes denser. Study shows that resistance training can significantly improve bone mineral density and reduce the risk of fractures, all right? So, how to fight back? Bang, bang, bang. Number 1, resistance training, like I said. So with this, like exercises like squats, deadlifts, and overhead presses apply compressive forces on bones, which triggers remodeling, all right? So you got your resistance training and there's calcium and vitamin D, right? So both are critical for bone health, but don't rely only on supplements, all right? Try to get them through foods like dairy, leafy greens, and fortified foods are great sources. Stronger muscles support stronger bones. It's all about lifting, literally. And see, and then there's hormonal decline, all right? As we get up in age, hormone levels naturally drop. I know it sucks. Life's not fair, you know? Testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormones decrease, affecting things like muscle repair, growth, recovery, your mood, and energy levels. Testosterone is vital for maintaining muscle mass in both men and women, and estrogen plays a major role in bone health and mood regulation. So, how to fight back? Strength training, once again, it increases the release of growth hormone and testosterone, both which promote muscle and bone health, okay? And then there's sleep. Quality sleep is crucial for hormonal balance. Aim for 7 to 9 hours per night. Very crucial, very vital, very important. Managing stress. High stress can lead to elevated cortisol, which breaks down muscle and interferes with hormone production. All right? So, let's say if you're like a young lady who's like 21. One day you're going to reach the age of 50. Okay? So this episode's for everybody, all right? So, stress. I done seen young people, young women. I done seen young men stress about so many things, but I'm just going to use this for example. Let's say you're a young lady. You upload on, I don't know, Snapchat. You upload a video on Snapchat. The video from yesterday got 800 views. Now your video today got 200 views on Snapchat. I know some people who stress about this. Just that stress alone can do impact on your mental health. Basically, it can tamper with your hormones. You see, you're not going to really realize it, but as it keeps happening repetitively, if it keeps happening again and again and again, eventually it's going to interfere with your hormones, okay? So don't stress about the little things, but I know people who stress about little things. This can impact your progress on muscle growth, fat loss, etc. So stress, please manage your stress. It's a big thing. Try not to stress over the little things in life, okay? So yes, high stress can lead to elevated cortisol, which breaks down muscle and interferes with hormone production. Find time for relaxation, yoga, meditation. Put the phone down for an hour, okay? And just simply walk. Take a walk. Strength training is like giving your hormones a wake-up call. Time to rise and shine, all right? So next we're going to talk about mitochondrial slowdown. Mitochondria are the powerhouse of your cells that create energy. Unfortunately, as you age, the number of mitochondria and their function decreases. This means less energy, more fatigue, and slower recovery. But muscle building exercises, especially high intensity interval training, HIIT, can help rebuild mitochondrial density, okay? So, how to fight back? HIIT workouts, such as incorporating short bursts of intense exercise like sprints, increase mitochondrial production and efficiency. Now, starting out, you don't have to do all this. You don't have to go all the way out with doing this, all right? Progress. You start slowly and eventually you build yourself up, okay? Take baby steps, all right? If you're over the age of 50, if you're 50 plus, you're not 20 years old no more, okay? So you have to take baby steps. Strength training builds energy reserves by increasing your muscle fibers' energy storage capacity, okay? Your mitochondria are begging for a challenge. Give them the workout they deserve, all right? So, inflammation and recovery. Aging naturally increases inflammation in the body. This is known as aging. Get it? Aging. Aging. It leads to aches, stiffness, and slower recovery. But guess what? Strength training has been shown to reduce systemic inflammation over time. So, how to fight back? Once again, strength training reduces inflammatory markers and improves recovery. Proper recovery. Prioritize sleep, hydration, and nutrient-dense foods for faster muscle repair, okay? And you see, inflammation might be a fact of aging, but it's no match for a well-built body, okay? So let's discuss the mindset shift, okay? Aging doesn't just affect our bodies, it affects our minds. When we stop challenging ourselves physically, we begin to believe we're too old or we're too fragile to do things we once loved. How many of you know somebody who says, well, I'm up in age, I'm just going to sit around the house all day because I'm up in age? No. There's a 70-year-old lady out there who has enough energy, enough cardio, enough strength to run around the house chasing their grandkids. While there's another 70-year-old lady out there who can't really move that well. She can move, but it takes a lot out of her, all right? So the other lady who moves around, she keeps moving. She's moving. She's not just sitting down all the time. You get what I mean? So here's the truth, though. Age is not a limitation. Your mindset is. If you ever told yourself you're too old to do something, it's time to reframe that thought. Strength training can be the most empowering thing you can do for yourself in later years. Start small. Begin with bodyweight exercises or light dumbbells, okay? Progress gradually and let every milestone be a victory. Focus on function, not looks, okay? The goal isn't necessarily to look younger, it's to feel stronger, more capable, and energized, and feel like you're young again. Stay consistent. Aging happens whether we like it or not. It is what it is. But what you do today will shape you tomorrow. You're not getting older. You're just getting better at challenging yourself. All right? Now that we covered the science of it, it's time to get into an example training blueprint. All right? So, let's just say, I'm going to give you all an example, right? First week, we're going to break this down to a weekly plan, right? So you got strength training, you got your mobility and core, you got your cardio, and you got your rest and recovery, okay? So with strength training, you want to train 2 to 4 times per week. You want to work on your mobility and core 2 to 3 times per week. Cardio 1 to 2 times per week. But make it strategic, okay? HIIT or brisk walks works great, okay? Rest and recovery is essential. You can't train hard if you don't rest hard, okay? Please get your sleep. Key movements to include squats, great for legs and bones, modify with the chair or TRX straps if needed. Deadlifts, strengthens your posture chain, lower back, glutes, and hamstrings. Rows and push-ups for upper body strength and posture. Overhead press, improves shoulder stability and arm strength. You can just do this with the bar. You can just do this with the damn bar. You don't need to add bunch of weight to do overhead press. The bar is enough, okay? The bar is enough. Core exercises, planks, bird dogs, and leg raises for balance and spine health. Strength, stretching, and mobility. So you can dedicate, I want to say 10 to 15 minutes after each workout for dynamic stretches, okay? Hip openers, arm circles, and lunges. Yoga or Pilates can be a great cross training for flexibility and joint mobility, okay? So train like you mean it, but don't forget to stretch like it's your last yoga class, okay? So let's take a moment to hear about some real life transformations. These are people just like you who decided that aging wasn't going to slow them down. So Suzanne, 61, who couldn't walk for 10 minutes without back pain, is now deadlifting 100 pounds and hiking 5 miles every weekend. James, 55 years of age, who had trouble keeping up with his grandkids. Yes, those stubborn grandkids who can't seem to stop running around the house, who can't seem to stop sneaking inside the snack drawer, eating up all the goodies, who can't seem to stop running out the house, chasing squirrels, who can't seem to stop making all that noise. It got the TV blasting, playing Call of Duty, playing video games, okay? So, James is now doing HIIT workouts and feels more energetic than he did in his 30s. Yes. So, it's better late than never. You may not be the person that you used to be 30, 40, 50 years ago. But you know what's depressing is when you wake up in the morning and you're having a hard time to move around your own house. You know what I mean? Like, let's say if you're 60 years old, you're retired. You say you're living in this big mansion and it's hard for you to get around. You need help. It's hard for you to get out the car. I mean, keep your body moving, all right? Your health is so vital that without your health, you can't enjoy anything else this world offers. You get what I mean? So please take it serious. You could just start with a walk, body weight exercises, and that's a start, you know? And so just remember, you're not too old to be strong, okay? Get that out of your mind. In fact, you're just getting started. Strength training isn't about looking a certain way. It's about feeling capable, confident, and empowered in your body. It's about protecting your future self. It's about feeling like a badass. It's about no matter what age you are, you can still strive for greatness, strive for victory, and strive for a better physical life, okay? Remember, your body is a work in progress and you're the artist. Don't let age stop you from being your best self. All right? Much love to you guys around the world. Thank you for listening to the AP3 Lavish Fitness Podcast. Remember, age boldly, train elegantly, and let's keep building that strength. Stay fit, stay healthy, and always, always, always stay lavish. God bless.